episode 54 of the We'll Just Agree
to Disagree.
What's in your hand, Ryan, first of all?
What up?
What's in the other hand?
What up?
What's in the glass?
I am at home. I am not at iHeart. Usually they say it's 5 o'clock somewhere, but it is actually 5:29 here. So to everybody that is watching, if you're relaxing, you had a long day at work and you're watching the podcast, pour you a glass and cheers.
I wish I could have a glass here at work right now.
We may need to give Beyonce one.
Honestly, like today has been a day.
We'll get you some next time, B. What would you like? Some champagne?
Whatever's sweet. It doesn't matter. As long as it's sweet, I'll drink it. Yeah.
And like a little Tiffany glass?
That would be nice.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
That would be really nice.
I got these from Target. So we got the T's, Target, Tiffany. So we'll get you one of those, okay? This is nice, $12.99.
You know what? Whatever, dude. So yeah, neither one of us are married.
No.
I don't know if I'll ever be married.
I'm married to the game.
And I'm married to this.
That's the same game.
My heart. Okay.
Yeah.
This is my heart.
We're in an entanglement.
I love it. OMG. That's hilarious. Yeah. So I wake up to this. I think about this all day. And I go to bed to this every night.
Literally.
I heart you. I heart. Anyway, though, no, I love my job and my career is everything. However, we're going to talk about marriage. We're no experts on it, so we're not going to get too deep with it. But we are both blessed to live in two-parent homes. Mm-hmm. Grew up with two parents. My parents will be celebrating, I'm just going to say, decades of marriage next week.
Wow.
And I so admire that because I've had such a great example all of my life of what true love really is. And there's some things, you know, that are personal that I'm not going to reveal. But when I say my parents have the ultimate love story, and one day I may put it in a book, one day I may speak on it. But right now, it's just, I just admire my father. I admire my mother, her love for my father. I admire the love that my dad has for my mother. And it's just, I can't put any words behind it, you know. I'm single, never been married. My siblings are all married. I just wonder, like, what do you think about the state of marriage these days? You know, there's so many couples, people who just live together, or people who have just been together for so many years, but they never made the actual commitment. What are your thoughts on that? Oh, okay, that Riesling is like kicking in, huh?
No, you know what I'm laughing at. I think it's a few things. I think one, I agree with you. I come from a two-parent household, and I'm grateful for that, where my parents have been together maybe 34 years, maybe, I don't know, something around there. But it's a blessing, right? And I'm in a family where my brothers are both married. So I come from two-parent household marriages, which I love because unfortunately, as you know, we discussed before, you don't see that a lot in the Black home. So it is something that I have been raised around, and it's something that I would like in the future. Now, I will say this. I think we live in a day and age that everything is changing and is different. I feel like culture norms are different. Society is different. Even comics can't be comics no more without getting canceled. Like, who would have thought that would have been a thing? And I just think everything is changing. I don't know where I read this, or I saw it on Twitter, I think, that our generation likes the idea of a wedding, but doesn't understand marriage. And I feel like a lot of us are quickly getting married or quickly having kids or whatever it may be. And I feel like it's a difference than when our parents were getting married before, where, you know, what happened to you ask the father for his blessing and proposing, and you get married, and then you have the kids, and then, you know, like that white picket fence type of situation. I don't think we live in that society. It also, back in the day, the husband would go work and the wife was at home taking care of the kids, cooking
Mhm.
and cleaning. That's not this day and age. You may have a wife who's a boss and has this and owns this, which is dope. And you may have a male now who plays the backseat role. I think there's so many differences nowadays. I don't know if it's up to my generation for marriage, I feel like it's on a decrease. I think we all think we want it, but I feel like our generation plays so many games when it comes to dating, when it
Yeah.
comes to being in relationships. I feel like it's when are we gonna get serious, right?
Mhm.
It's
Mhm.
still you still see it, which you love to see. But is it as real as it was back in the day for our parents that celebrating decades together?
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
don't know. I hope it will be.
I still think that it has a lot to do with, you're right, today's day and age, things are changing, customs are changing, traditions are changing. A lot has changed over the years. But I also think it's the example that you have.
Facts.
You and I both have, again,
Facts.
two parents in the household. We've seen the examples that they presented to us over the course of our entire lives.
Right.
And not everyone can say that they have that.
Hmm.
So, in my mind, someone who's taught, about love and relationships and unity and marriage and things like that, the values of that, they're
Hmm.
more likely to follow that example
That's
than
true.
someone who perhaps doesn't see that, or doesn't know anything about that. For instance, um, you're still in your 20s.
Hmm.
I have two nephews that are younger than you
Hmm.
who are married with a child.
Hmm.
And they probably did that because they had the examples in their households of
Hmm.
a two-parent family who taught them values of love and respect and how to compromise in relationships and all that stuff. So I
Hmm.
think a lot of it may have to deal with what you see and what you've been taught throughout
Mm.
the course of your life.
I completely agree with that. But Beyonce, remember that's why I was saying a few episodes back when we talked about traditions. And remember you were
Hmm.
like, why aren't some people realizing? That's what I was trying to state, that I don't think some people were brought up with knowing you do certain things. Like, although we were talking
Hmm.
about you don't wear a hat in church, and we talked about how that gets brought up, a tradition maybe they weren't taught love, so they don't know this is how you're supposed to love your wife or
Hmm.
love your husband, whoever it may be. I do agree that I think a lot of that goes back to how you were raised and what you were brought up in. Not that it
Hmm.
may mean that in every situation you may be brought up in not the best care of your parents, but then you have gone and found love. Of course it can be that
Yeah.
way.
Oh
But
yeah, there's always.
I definitely think there's a conversation, and me and you both were both, although we're both single or we're both not married, we both were taught like that's what it should be, or that's what you should long for.
Mhm.
And if you get it, that's how you should maybe act with it. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely think that plays a role in it. But I think too, if we take like normal day people out of it, right? Do you think it's because, and I think this is a topic that we may have done or we were going to do, celebrities and how we
Mhm.
put them on a pedestal, and we see none of these relationships work out, and then we're all like, oh, they didn't, like Devon Franklin and Megan Good. When they
Mhm.
broke up, the whole world stopped. And I just feel like, do you think some people are looking like marriage is not a thing that's real no more? Like we're seeing Kanye and Kim getting a divorce. You see all these celebrities that everybody loves getting a divorce. And now I feel like people who put them on a pedestal are like, wow, if they can't do it, then I can't do it.
Well, I don't know. I think it's opposite. I feel like people who are regular, everyday people like you and I feel like when they are the ones that separate or get divorced, then I'm like, if it happened to them, oh my gosh, is it going to happen to me? You
Right.
know what
That's
I
what
mean?
I'm saying. Yeah.
Celebrities, that's whatever, because just their lifestyle alone is really hard work. Marriage by itself is hard, but then when you're a celebrity and you add the element of money and fortune and fame and all that to it, yeah, you're likely going to see some problems. I really don't know what it is. I think it's us as individuals where our mindset is. Now, that example of seeing your parents and your grandparents being married and all that, that plays into it. But at the end of the day, it's like, where's your mind at, Beyonce? Do you want to be married? Do you want to be in this relationship with this person? What are you doing, Ryan? Do you really want this commitment? You know what I mean? I think it's
Yeah.
up to us as individuals because we make up our own minds, you
Yeah,
know?
and I think it's ours. It's our desires, and I think
Yeah.
I know for me, and I'm sure I can speak on you. We're at a place where our career is so important right now, and it takes the front
Hmm.
seat of everything we do. I know for me, my career, of course, God and families first, but my career
Hmm.
takes up 90% of my time. That's just why Beyonce's on this podcast. Tell me I need to live, I need to do this because I'm in a season right now where I'm grinding. But if I
Hmm.
did want to be, hey, I want to be married one day, I want to have kids one day, is this the time period that it's like, hey, I may need to pull back a little bit from my career to try to have both because I don't want to hit like whatever age, and then it's like,
You
dang,
can say
should
50, say
I
50
just
or
nah.
45 or
Now let me tell you
whatever.
one thing: if I get to 40 and it ain't there, it ain't meant for me. I can tell you that right now. That I ain't gotta say 50.
Well,
If I get to, if I get to a certain age, I'm gonna be the rich uncle that takes the nieces and nephews. You ain't
you
got to
know
worry
what?
about me.
And that's another thing. People put age behind it. I know people who got married in their late 20s, early 30s, and they're no longer married. I know
Right.
people who didn't get married until they were like 55, 60, and they are just like so in love and will go to the grave with that person.
But
You know
do
what I
you
mean? So
would you get married at an older age? Older age?
I am at an older age right now. What do you
You're
mean?
not at an older age, B.
I'm at an older age than you. I think according to society, not according to me, because you can get married at any time in life, but according to society, women are usually married by the time they hit 35.
Yeah, I mean, then I'm
Yeah.
at an older age. If you think about it, if I'm if I'm
Not for
20,
guys. No, no, no. For guys, it's always different. That's
it
just the way
is, it is, it is, and I get
you
that.
can
But
get married at 60 and still be like the
I don't
cool
think
daddy with swag.
no, I don't. And see, I don't think I would get married. Well, let me disclaimer. We need to put a little disclaimer. All of this is up to God's timeline. So whatever He
Facts.
has, that's. But if we're speaking hypothetically, I don't
Facts.
see myself getting. If I kid you not, if I hit 40 and I'm not married, I will still be here with my Riesling doing this podcast, chilling. Like I'm not.
I'm gonna
No.
need you not to still be doing a podcast with Riesling. No, we're not at 40. We're not gonna be doing that. No, no, no.
What are we gonna be doing?
We're gonna be on a yacht with
Oh
some
yeah, you're right.
States.
You're right.
Okay,
But
that's what we're gonna be doing at 40.
I don't think too. And now let's get real. Okay? Before let's not even talk marriage. Let's just talk dating relationships.
Mhm.
You have to be in a season 2 where you're going to be like, I'm about to cut off everything else that I'm having fun with and
Yeah.
enjoying to be with one person. And I do think sometimes, specifically my generation, but just people in general nowadays, it's all games. Everybody got to be talking to multiple people. Everybody got to have a team. Everybody got to have a team. Okay, this one don't want to pick up. All right, it's Tuesday, and I got this one for Taco Tuesday. Okay, well you're perfect for Hump Day Wednesday. Everybody has a team, and
Let me put you on game. It's not just your generation.
that's what
Fam.
I said. I did say everybody. I did say I switched it. I said
Can't put the age on that because I know some
everybody.
brothers out here that are very well seasoned that still do that kind of stuff.
And and,
Unfortunately.
and I think just how you were talking about how it's up to the individual, you
Yeah.
also have to want to say, all right, I'm in a different high mindset set. God can't give me a wife if I'm still out here having a whole roster of cheerleaders. Like if Beyonce wants a husband, you have to. I do believe. I say this in two ways. I don't think you have. I don't want you. If you have a relationship, I don't think you have to act like the wife necessarily
Mm.
right away, because I
Mhm.
do believe guys will get comfortable and you won't get the ring finger on because you're not. You're showing. You know what I'm saying? You're giving him too much.
Mm.
But
Yeah,
I
yeah.
do believe, on the other hand of that statement, you can't tell God I want to be a wife and you still acting like a hoe.
Mm. What? What? Facts.
Faith without works is dead. So if I'm out here saying, Lord, this is what I'm longing for, show me the way, show me the person, I can't be doing all these other things and then asking for that. I have to prepare my mind to say, I'm gonna cut off all of that when I'm ready to cut it off. And I'm really saying, as an individual, I don't want that no more. I want one, show me that way. Then I feel like he can make it plain. But you can't
Yeah,
make it plain and you acting like that.
yeah, you're right. You're right. So do you think that marriage is still a thing in 2022,
Absolutely.
regardless of, yeah, well, age and generation does kind of play into it a little, but regardless of age and career and how much money you have and stuff, just as a whole, do you think marriage is still a thing nowadays?
Yes, I do
Okay.
think marriage is still a thing. Although it may not be as taken as seriously, although
Hmm.
as many people may not be getting married, I do
Hmm.
still think marriage is a thing. And I think because as long as love is a thing, then I
Yeah.
think marriage will still be a thing. Yes, I do
Yeah.
believe that.
Good answer. Good answer. I think as a woman that sometimes we as women, and I'm speaking for all of us sisters, I'm not categorizing anyone because I probably have fallen into this category myself, if I am categorizing. I think sometimes women, because we're emotional creatures and we're different from men, and we want that fairy tale wedding, we want that knight in shining armor to come and rescue us and cover us and protect us and provide for us and be there for us. I feel that sometimes we are enamored with the institution of marriage, not realizing how much work it really is.
It goes back to, you are into the idea of the wedding, but are you
Yeah,
ready for the marriage? Like, neither one
exactly.
of us are married, but I'm sure if either one of us talk to a married couple, everybody will say the same thing, that marriage is work. And
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not,
yeah.
who was I just talking to? Oh, it's
Do I
it's
know the person?
oh yeah, you know the person. We're not gonna do this game again. We're not gonna play this game again. But in relationships, they were just saying how they're a lot of work. It's not just rainbows and sunshine. Like, it's a
Yeah.
lot of up and down work. And I think too, I do commend people like myself and like yourself that know I'm not emotionally, or I'm not physically available
Hmm.
to give it all that I need. I'm physically at work all the time. I'm
Hmm.
emotionally drained, whether it's I'm busy, I'm tired, I'm working, my mind is here. I'm not
Hmm.
available to be in a type of situation where when it's hard work that has to be put into, I don't want to be in it if I'm not showing up to put in the work.
Yeah, yeah. Agreed. Agreed. But there's also situations where you kind of make yourself available and you try as hard as possible to see what's going on. And you may just be like, let me evaluate myself.
Right.
Is this what I really want? I talk
Right.
to women all the time, on the air, off the air, at events. People have asked me, Beyonce, how come you're not married yet? Like, you would be such a great mother. You would be such a whatever. And I'm sitting there like, hmm, I never even really stopped to think about it sometimes. But when I do think about it, I'm like, God, it's whatever God would have for me. Seriously. I'm not the girl that sits around and says, oh my God, time is running out. I need to be married. Like, that's so not me. And if any of my sisters do that, it is what it is. I have no problem with people who think that way. But I don't know. I guess maybe I'm just so into work in other areas of my life, personal, parents, aging, this and that, that it's not something I sit and wonder. Now, I will say this, I used to want one of those fairy tale weddings where
Uh-huh.
the train of the dress is from here to the next studio, 1,500 feet down the hall. I wanted all of that with the veil to come down and be the actual train. I wanted everyone in black tuxedos. I wanted the girls in this beautiful gold
Beyonce, snap
pewter
out of it,
color.
B.
Like,
B, B,
I
B,
had it
snap out, snap out.
when I say I had it, and wait, I've always wanted my wedding to be at Rockefeller Chapel at the University of Chicago campus. Oh, I had it envisioned, but now it's just like, oh, yeah, yeah. So no, I'm single. I'm not married. Yeah, it's weird. So that's why I was wondering, like, is marriage even really a thing now anymore?
Mhm.
Like, is it okay to just cohabitate with someone? Is it okay? And then my religious values come in with that piece. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to just live with
You don't
someone.
want to
That
shack
makes
up
it,
allegedly.
yeah, that makes it
Yeah.
way too easy because when those problems start settling in, you just be like, deuces.
Yeah.
No, no, no. So I don't know. It's weird. I just didn't know if marriage was still a thing or if we're just like so into the idea of marriage.
I, I,
Because
I
it's work.
think I think honestly, this question could be answered in many ways. I feel like it's a circle of answers. Some people may say, no, marriage is not a thing. It's something that I wanted to be when I grew up, but now I don't want to be married. Like that's
Hmm.
not for me. I don't want to have to compromise with some people. Some people like you and I may say, I think it still is a thing. I think love is a thing. I think it's based on individuals and where they're at. And if you're wanting to be married and you want to work to get that way, I think it's a circle of life.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a lot of factors. I will say that. And I will say, although our parents have been married for many, many years, I'm sure they've had their valleys. I'm sure
Yeah.
they've had peaks. It's
Yeah.
not easy, two
And that's with
people.
any relationship, whether it's a
Mhm.
friendship, whether it's a workship, whatever it may be. You're gonna have
Yeah.
your days where you come in like, man, I love this job. You're gonna have these days that you come in like, here's my 2 weeks notice. Like
Hmm.
you have up and downs with close friends, everything. Think about it. You were living with a person
Yeah.
for I can't imagine our parents have been together with the same person for 30 plus years. I would have gone crazy. That's why sometimes I'm like, is it for me?
Yeah. Like my parents have been together longer than I obviously have been alive. And I can't fathom that. It's like, are you
No.
kidding me right now? You've been married as long as I've been
But
alive.
at the
And then,
same time, I love it though.
me too.
So I don't know. I think this is a to be continued. Like, will me and Beyonce, what will come from Beyonce and Ryan?
Don't hold your breath though now. I'll put that up there. You might not want to hold your breath on me. I'm just saying because
Well, as
thing
far
is,
as Riesling Ryan goes, y'all can catch me right here in this chair. No ring fingers. We chilling.
OMG, I love it. But yeah, I love marriage. I love the thought of marriage. I love everything about it. It looks great, but I know too that there is work involved. And my thing is to be the best person that I can be for whoever God will send my way.
Just take my advice.
And what is that?
Don't have that roster be. If you asking for him to send it your way, don't have that roster.
Boy, you know good well, you know me long enough to know that I do not have a roster.
Don't have that
Hello.
roster.
No, not at all. Not at all.
And
However, Maxwell at the concert the other night, though, I'm just saying.
do you want my full commentary on that?
Maxwell at that concert the other night.
You know what I texted you during that. And I don't want to say it on this podcast.
Oh yeah, no. Okay, then that is episode 54 of the Will Just Agree.
I really want our listeners to let us know because I needed some questions the other night, y'all.
To Disagree podcast.
But y'all DM me on Instagram at Ryan Media League because I needed some questions asked. Beyonce thought he was looking at her.
Hey, he was. He looked at me and winked and pointed and everything.
He was looking at somebody that was standing right behind you.
Quit playing with me, Ryan. Okay, anyway. Ryan is crushing my crushed dreams right now. You can follow me on all social media.
I ain't crushed your crushed dreams. Your crush may have crushed your crushed dreams.
All social media at Beyonce Fox.
But in all serious though, kudos to Maxwell because he put on a show the other night.
What?
Killed.
Yeah.
Maxwell, Anthony Hamilton, Joe, they killed the other night.
They did. Yeah, they did. Really good show. Yeah. All right. That's it. That's all.
All right, guys, we're out. We'll see you guys next week. And let us know in the comments on YouTube right here, do you think marriage is still a thing? And we'll talk to you next week.
And big shout outs to all of the couples who are married and are going strong. Much love to all of you guys. Continue to keep up the good work because there is nothing like love at the end of the day.
And happy anniversary to your parents.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
I need
Love
to
that.
talk to them. We need to get them on this episode. That's what we need. We need them on the
That,
podcast.
that's never gonna happen.
That's what we need. All right, B, I need more Riesling. I'll talk to you later.
Deuces.